me to just sit here? Like, I ain't assisting you with nothing, baby. Am I counting sheep for you? Like, why do I have to sit here while you take a nap? And Tanya is trying to tell her, like, I know you like him, but something is up. I don't think that's his uncle. Baby, why Portia say, yes, that is? Portia, you don't know. Y'all, that hurt me so bad. When Tanya says, I don't think that's his uncle, and Portia's response is, yes, it is. That's his uncle. Why would you say that? What's up? It's Nikki. Welcome back to my channel, King Nikki TV, where I give you commentary on popular movies and TV shows. In this video, I will be giving you part 2 of my second season review of the HBO Max series, The White Lotus. If you are not familiar, it is an anthology series that follows guests and staff at White Lotus hotel locations. In part 1, I gave you Daphne and Cameron, as well as E and Harper, and in this part 2, I will be concluding with the rest of our guests, as well as our 2 locals and our staff. So let's get right into it. I'm going to start with the Garcia men. I think that's how you pronounce their last name. We have 3 generations, Granddad Bert, and when you see me look down, as always, I'm looking down at my notes. We have Granddad Bert, Dad Dom, and grandson Albie. Now, they were supposed to be on a family trip. They are Sicilian, and they were coming back to look up their roots and their family because Granddad wanted his homecoming. Now, unfortunately, Granddad was a serial cheater and Dad is a serial cheater, and at this moment his marriage is, I don't even want to say it's on the rocks, it's pretty much just demolished. So mom and daughter decided not to come because they're upset, and apparently they also have some type of, I don't know if it's contention, but a little, you know, not very much respect for Granddad either. So none of the women came, and ended up just being the guys. Now, one common thread for me is the contempt through all of the dad-son relationships. Now, we have Albie, who at first, I loved Albie, and I still like Albie, but I was all for Albie, and I was actually pretty annoyed when he meets Portia. And it looks like they are giving us that stereotypical women don't like nice guys thing. And I was so annoyed when I felt like that's where we were going, because I'm like, no, I want the nice guy. Give me the Albie. But it got a little more complicated than Albie is just a nice guy. Now, what I thought was interesting is when we first start the season and Albie meets Portia, who I'll get into later, but when he meets Portia, he goes down to the beach club to meet her, and he's walking, and a woman walks by in a bikini, and Albie does not do a double take. He just keeps on walking. However, at the very end of the series, when they are leaving and are at the airport, Albie, Bert, and Dom all double take at a woman walking past them. Interesting. Because I'm like, hold on now, at the start of the season, baby, Albie ain't do a double take. And the girl was talking about in a bikini, and he did not double take and look back. But by the end, he did. Now, one thing that I had to question was, is Albie actually a nice guy, or does he just play the nice guy role? I feel like Albie plays the nice guy role as a rebellion against his dad. They have a very complicated relationship. So Dom has a contempt for his dad, even though he turned out exactly like his dad. And he even says to Bert that he lived his life very selfishly and taught Dom to pretty much do the same thing. And the same contempt that Albie has for Dom has for Bert. And I wonder if Dom started out as an Albie. When he is on the phone with his wife at the very beginning, when Dom is on the phone with his wife at the very beginning, she says something about how Albie is just sweet and nice, and God only knows where he got it from because it wasn't from Dom. And it was something about Dom's facial expression and body language, how I read that scene. I was like, I wonder if Dom started out as an Albie, because obviously Dom, I don't want to say he's terrible, but he's terrible. But I get Dom in a way, because I feel like we do unhealthy stuff sometimes. Unhealthy to us, unhealthy to the people around us. We do selfish-ish. We have behaviors where we lash out and unwilling victims end up in our path, and we have a habit of mimicking the behaviors that we saw growing up, even the behaviors that we didn't like being on the receiving end of. So it's very interesting how Dom has such a contempt for his dad, but turned into the thing that he doesn't like. He definitely has a heart when you see him talking about the pain that his dad's affairs caused his mother, but he is now causing that same pain to his wife. I don't think it's as black and white as Dom is just a dirtbag. I think it's a situation where he has a certain trauma from his childhood and he's acting out in the only way that he knows how. But maybe I'm giving him too much leeway. I don't know. I mean, because what was interesting was Dom was talking about changing, wanted to get back with his wife. But again, we got premeditated murder because he set up sex workers, Lucia, before he even got to the trip. Like, before you even got here, you already had this set up. That, like, if he would have just met her there, for me, I would have read it a little different. But the fact that you premeditated this, that's a little sleazy. That's a little sleazy. And I also like the portrayal of Bert and Dom and Albie, kind of in the same vein of what I said about our couples in part 1. I feel like it is a very nuanced look at love, how we view it, what we call love. Bert has a conversation with Dom where he tells him, I loved my wife, she loved me, and that's pretty much all that matters. That's the only thing that counts. And Dom is like, no, it's not. And for Bert, he's like, yeah, I was with her for, what was it, 30, 40 years. I loved her, she loved me. That's all that matters. And I truly believe that even though he was a serial cheater, Bert did love his wife. And I think he misses his wife now. When we pick up in this story, his wife has now passed. I think that Dom truly loves his wife, but they are just effed up people. And like I said in part 1, love is an emotion, so they can feel love for these women, but it doesn't mean that they have the self-control, the impulse control, the respect for them. It doesn't mean that they have all of those other things that you would like to come along with love, but I do think that they genuinely love their wives. It is just a damaged love, an unhealthy love. Now, we also have to get into the guests Tanya, Greg, and Portia, because when we talk about Albie, we have to talk about Portia. Now, Tanya is our common link from season 1, Jennifer Coolidge. Of course, that's the actress that you bring back. Now, Tanya and Greg, her husband, are on a Sicilian vacation, a romantic trip, and Portia is Tanya's assistant who she brings along with her. Baby, I don't know what kind of assistant Portia was, because baby wasn't assisting nothing. Like, what was she assisting with? Now, when Greg arrived first, when Tanya and Portia arrived, it was already weird because Tanya had been texting her husband and hadn't heard from him. Like, that's odd. But Greg ends up upset when he sees that Portia is there. So Tanya tells Portia to stay hidden. And we kept having instances where Tanya and Greg goes to the restaurant to have dinner or goes to have breakfast, and they see Portia, and Tanya is like signaling to her like, get out of here. She told Portia to stay in her room. Now, for me, this was pretty illogical. I completely get keeping your assistant hidden if your husband ain't know she was there. And yes, he said get rid of her, but it don't make, like, he already, like, she's here, babes. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why am I staying hidden when you know I'm here? Was she really supposed to just put the girl on a plane, like, right then? I don't know. It was just tripping me out. Like, baby, you, like, bro, you already know she here. Now, from the very moment that Greg is on scene, you can tell he don't really F with his wife. He don't like his wife. They ain't cool like that. Now, did I think from the beginning that baby was plotting her murder? No. But there is a scene where they have this big special day that he wants to plan for Tanya, and after the special day he ends up telling her that he has to leave for a few days for business, and she says this trip was your idea. You wanted to have a romantic getaway. Baby, when she said that, I said, hold on now, child. Him? This man? He planned this? This was his idea to have a romantic trip? Nah, something off with that. Like, that felt off right off the bat. I was like, why in the hell would this man come up with the right idea to have a romantic getaway with the wife? He don't act like he don't even want to be next. Like, he literally seemed like he was repulsed by her. I feel like that was odd. I was like, what is going on with this? Now, Tanya ends up meeting the posh gays. The gays. She just kept referring to them as the gays. The rich gays. The posh gays. And now, I was right and I was wrong. Because she meets these gays. She's like walking through the hotel. They compliment her, introduce themselves, ask her to come hang out because they feel like she's just fabulous. And I felt like something was up. I was like, well, because I was like, well, am I reaching? Because people do be extra friendly on vacation. Like, we see it in White Lotus. They just randomly talk to folk. But then I was like, wait a minute. I'm finna jump ahead. But when they take Tanya and Portia on a trip off somewhere else to where their little, what is that thing called? It's not a villa. It's somewhere in my notes. I can't think. But takes them to his home. It's called something. Y'all, I am so freaking mad. Okay, I completely forgot to mention this. I'm editing right now. And I'm like, damn it, I forgot to say this. So, one of the biggest things that gave me an indication that something was up with the gays was, I can't remember, palazzo, that's what it's called. Damn it, that's what I couldn't think of. Palazzo. I kept calling it a villa. So I knew something was up with the gays because Cam and Daphne have a conversation talking about how these aristocrats have these palazzos, but they're actually broke. So then when we meet the gays and he has a palazzo and Tanya is like, oh, it's so refreshing to meet somebody that got money. I was like, hold on now, baby, because they told us that these folks with the palazzos are actually broke. That was my big indicator that something was amiss. I didn't know it was a murder plot, but I was like, yeah, this is something is going on with this because we were already told that the niggas with the palazzos ain't got no money. Damn it, I'm mad I forgot to mention that in my video. But here's a little voiceover as I edit. So we had that piece of information about the palazzo, and we had the one gay guy that looked like Beetlejuice. We had the lead gay guy. Y'all, something about him is evil. Y'all, where do I know that actor from? I feel like I have seen that actor be evil somewhere, and I just knew something was up with his character. But those are my final thoughts as I'm editing, because I forgot to say it in my video. He wants to introduce Tanya to this guy who's supposed to look so good, and he talks him up, and he basically hooking Tanya up, setting her up with a man. And I was like, nope, this is a setup. This is a setup from the husband. And what I was thinking was, because the husband makes mention of the prenup, how if they divorce, he gets nothing. Now, typically, when you have one rich spouse and the other spouse isn't, and you sign a prenup and you don't get nothing out of divorce, typically there'll be a little clause where if the rich partner cheats, you will then walk away with money. So I thought, okay, I call it, I know what it is. Greg is setting Tanya up to cheat so he can have proof of infidelity so that he can divorce her and get money. That was my initial thought. I was like, that's what it is. Yep, this is set up. They want her to cheat because she goes into, I can't think of the gay guy name, and it's not in my notes, but the gay guy who was orchestrating the whole thing, she goes into his room, and I'm like, yeah, it's a reason they set this up in his room. It's because your husband's trying to get proof of infidelity so he can get some money. But no, child, it was much darker than that. Now, what I thought was really interesting is the characters of Portia and Tanya together, because they were literal mirrors, in my opinion. They are both dopes. I love when, baby, Tanya has a conversation with Greg and she's like, I'm paying attention. I was just like, no, baby, actually you not. Actually you not. Like, her and Portia were such peas in a freaking pod. Now, Portia ends up meeting Albie, and when she first meets Albie, he's in the pool, she's next to the pool. This is when she was told to stay in her room and don't come out. And she's on the phone to friends, she's crying, she's upset. And y'all, when I tell you, Portia irked my motherfucking nerves. Like, this was the, oh God, such a display of a privileged ass person just complaining and just being woe is me. I really, like, am I tripping? But I see nothing wrong with Portia. Like, for her to be so woe is me and down in the dumps, it was so irksome and annoying. I'm like, you're a pretty girl, you're a really privileged person, why the fuck are you so freaking upset all the time? And her and Albie end up meeting. She's crying and he's like, you know, are you okay, etc., etc. And she, every time she would be talking to Albie, I would just be like, Albie, why the fuck do you want to deal with this girl? Because I would be like, baby, you miserable, keep that black cloud over there, I'm on vacation. But he just was just into her, very intrigued by her. I'm just like, baby, when you met her, she was upset and crying. And every time they kind of have a conversation, she's dumping something on him. It was just so annoying. I was just so freaking sick of Portia complaining. Like, was it just me? Was it just me? Now, what was crazy was Portia kept talking about, I want to have an adventure. I want to have an adventure. I want to have an adventure. Like, girl, okay, let me calm down. But she really irked me. But she was just constantly complaining, crying to Albie. But then she had this thing about Albie being a nice guy. She wanted him to be way more assertive. And I completely got that in the beginning. When he first, like, gives her a kiss, he kind of, like, pecks her. It was like a church kiss. And I was like, that's it? So the next morning, they're at breakfast and she tells him she wants him to be more assertive. Great, get it, on board. Like, but the thing that irks me is, what at the beginning episodes, people were online talking crap about Albie and about him being a nice guy and about Nips. And I'm just like, baby, you really, I call Jack, y'all, Jack, that's Nips. But I'm sitting here like, Portia, do you really think Nips is going to sit here for all this crying and whining that you was doing? No. Portia, you need to be with an Albie. You don't need to be with a Nips, okay? Because Nips ain't finna be here for all this. You going, Now, what really irks my nerves, y'all, is this whole women don't like nice guys thing. That irks me. So what kind of humans are we where we don't want nice people in the world? I want people to be nice. I want nice guys. Nice, genuine, wholesome guys. Like, what is wrong with someone being nice? Like, that is so freaking weird to me. I would choose Albie over Nips any day of the week. Well, wait. The early episodes Albie. The Albie when I thought he was a genuine nice guy. That Albie. I would choose that Albie over Nips. I don't want nothing to do with Nips. Like, he looked toxic from the moment he jumped in that pool. Like, oh, my nips are sensitive. First of all, who the fuck talks like that? Who says nips? Like, who says that? It was just his introduction to the audience for me was just, I was just so like, I'm like off. Like, Portia, why are you paying attention to that man? Like, I would have been over there. Albie was like trying to kiss her and she looking over there at Nips. I would have been looking at that man. I would have been kissing Albie. But let me not get ahead of myself, because, you know, we got ish to get into when it comes to Nips and his uncle. Now, Portia at breakfast with Albie. She's telling him to be more assertive. But then she goes off on a tangent about something else. And I'm just like, baby, what are you even talking about? Y'all, what was she talking about? What was Portia ever talking about? She was... Now, Tanya and Greg's special day. Y'all, that special day was like... This show is like dark comedy, but it's also just comedic gold at the same time, because Tanya wanted to have this special day where she wanted to be, damn it ain't in my notes. It's some woman she wanted to be who I ain't never even heard of. But first of all, she dresses up and she asks the hotel manager, like, can you tell who I am? Who am I? And she's like, Peppa Pig. And I'm just like, wait a minute. Y'all, I thought I heard wrong. I was like, Peppa Pig? Is that what she really? First of all, that manager, baby, was spicy. She told Bert, oh, I'm shocked you here because you so old. I'm surprised you made the trip. Baby, what kind of introduction is that for your guest? What the hell? And then to tell another guest, oh, who is you, Peppa Pig? Y'all, the hotel manager was off the chain. But anyway, the moped day. Y'all, when Tanya and Greg are riding on that damn moped and Jennifer Coolidge has got bugs flying in her mouth. When I say I was dying laughing, and then when Greg is like, loosen your grip, like, I was dying. It was so funny. It was so funny. Oh my God. So Greg ends up leaving. He says he has to go for 2 days. Now at this point, we've seen him having these little sneaky conversations on the phone, and we, you know, can suspect that he cheating on her, he plotting something. He ain't on the up and up, basically. We can tell that, even though we may not know exactly what's going on right now. But hey, maybe some people guessed that it was a murder plot. I didn't. I thought it was a catch this bitch cheating so I can get money for the prenup plot. But Greg leaves, and Tanya is upset. And she told Portia to stay nearby. Portia was out on a day trip with Albie and his family, and she ends up coming back to the hotel for Tanya. Tanya wants to get a fortune teller, but baby, Tanya get mad at the fortune teller. Baby, how you gonna tell the fortune teller what to tell you? That was so ridiculous. So she kicks the freaking fortune teller out, child, because she don't want to hear what the fortune teller is talking about. How you tell the fortune teller what fortune to give you? I don't know. That's beyond me. But anyway, Portia tells her, like, okay, well, I'm gonna go. But Tanya's like, no, I'm finna take a nap, but I want you to stay right here. Y'all, what? Tanya and Portia was just so ridiculous. Is this the life of an assistant? Like, you finna take a nap and you want me to just sit here? Like, I ain't assisting you with nothing, baby. Am I counting sheep for you? Like, why do I have to sit here while you take a nap? Y'all, it was just so ridiculous. She wanted her to just sit on the couch. Can anybody tell me what the hell Portia was assisting Tanya with? What was she assisting with? She was not assisting nothing. Now, Tanya and Portia end up going to the beach club to hang out with the posh gays, and Portia ends up seeing Nips again, Jack, and come to find out Nips is the nephew of the main gay guy. Damn it, I did not put that gay guy name in my notes. Well, I'm just calling him the gay guy because Tanya was referring to them as the gays the whole show. So the gays, y'all, the main head honcho of the gays. Now at the same time, Portia was supposed to be meeting Albie at the beach club. Y'all, when I tell you, I got such secondhand embarrassment from this scene, because Albie is down waiting for Portia at the beach club, and he looks up at the little, what do you call it? It's not a balcony. It's not a patio. Whatever the hell, y'all. She was up high. He was down low on the ground. She was up there with the gays and with Nips. And he sees her talking, flirting with Nips. And I was just like, Albie, baby. Albie, please don't go up there. Please. Like, I literally was just saying over and over again, Albie, please don't go up there. Baby, Albie goes up there. And it was so embarrassing. And Portia pretty much kicks him to the curb. But she doesn't really kick him to the curb overtly. She's like, I have to stay with my boss and I'll see you later. She used Tanya to be able to kick him to the curb. Now, in this instance, Albie is all about Portia, but he is left to his own devices, and he ends up meeting with our sex workers, our locals, Mia and Lucia. Damn it, ain't so many names, y'all. I'm terrible with names, and I'm just like, wait, what was her name? Lucia. He ends up meeting Mia and Lucia, and really this is where Lucia gets in when it comes to Albie. We first meet Lucia and Mia when everyone is arriving on the boats because someone, unbeknownst to us at the time, we don't know who it is, has hired Lucia. Now I'm calling them sex workers, but really it's Lucia, and she just brings her friend Mia along with her. But she ended up turning Mia out, and Mia's just like, well, I'm gonna go have sex with a piano guy. Mia wanted to be a singer, and she was hanging with her sex worker friend who had dressed her up. So the man in the restaurant area who played the piano thought she was a sex worker and propositioned her. And initially Mia is offended, but then she's like, well, he could introduce me to some folks and I want to do music. And I'm just like, damn, Mia, you turned around quick, girl. But anyway, and side note, I love Lucia. I love Lucia. I don't give a fuck. Lucia is the MVP. I said that Fee was my MVP of the season. Lucia is my MVP of part 2. In part 2 in this video, Lucia is the motherfucking MVP. Love her. We'll get into her later. Now, Portia ends up at, wait, what was I was just saying something else. I got sidetracked. Oh, I was talking about Mia wanting to be a singer. But you know what? I'll get back into that later. Let's stay on this track because we was talking about Portia and Tanya and Albie, and I got sidetracked because Albie meets Lucia. But anyway, now Tanya and Portia hang out with the gays at the beach club, and then they hang out with them for dinner. And when I tell y'all, I was so turned off by Nips. In like life, if I was Portia, I would have been all about Albie, and I wouldn't have cared about Nips. Nips comes to dinner, and he proceeds to tell Portia, I put on some nice underwear for you. Excuse me, sir? Baby, I don't know you. Why are you talking to me about your underwear? And that's very presumptuous. Why she wearing underwear for me? But I don't like that. He just felt so toxic from the very beginning. I just felt like for me, Albie would have been the green light and Nips would have been the red light. Like, I'd be like, I see hazard signs when it comes to Nips. No one nothing to do with this. But anyway, she ends up hanging with Nips. He tripped me out with my nips are sensitive when he gets in the pool. That just threw me so bad. But anyway, so Albie was saving a seat at the beach club for Portia, and he asked Lucia them not to sit there, but he gets kicked to the curb. Lucia comes back and she ends up being like, well, can I sit here? Your friend never came. So they end up meeting and making a, wait a minute, I know why I got y'all, I'm sorry. I know why I got sidetracked that, because I was talking about when we met Lucia at the boat. Okay, my bad, I got sidetracked. It's so many characters and so many different lines to go through. Okay, I got sidetracked. Now I know why I got sidetracked. So pause this thought and let's loop back around. Lucia was hired by Dom, and it was so funny to me when she's in the hotel and she goes up to the hotel room, and the way they shot it, the door opens and they don't like initially show us who opens the door, and I'm just like, yo, it is obviously the dad. Just go on and show us. Like, that was evident. But anyway, Dom with his sleeves behind hired the sex worker before he even got on the damn trip. But baby, you talking about you could change and you want your wife back, you ain't even changed. Like, what are you, I don't know, it's just crazy. I just feel like I said, if he would have met Lucia here and then they got together, okay. But the fact that he planned this, man, child, that was so sleazy. So that's what I was trying to say earlier. That is how we are introduced to Lucia and Mia, because Dom excuse me, because Dom hires Lucia. Now let's loop back to the second loop. At the beach club, Albie meets Lucia. Now at this point, initially Dom hired Lucia for the whole week, so that's money she baby is expected to get every single day. And Dom put Lucia and Mia on their hotel room because they were having problems with the hotel letting them in. The hotel was like, you look, this is only for guests. Now, I was thrown off because I was like, wait, babies, y'all ain't got nowhere to live? Baby, why was Lucia and Mia living at the hotel? Like that, when they were sleeping on the beach chairs covered up with the towel, I was like, wait, y'all ain't got nowhere to stay? Oh, poor babies, they ain't even got nowhere to live. at a hotel trying to make money. I don't know, but I took it as they ain't have no place to live. But was I wrong? But anyway, now Dom ends up having a change of heart, hit by his conscience, and he tells Lucia, "You're lovely, can't do it." So now Lucia need to make up that money she was expecting to get every day from Dom, and she ends up meeting Albie, who she knows is Dom's son. So they are at the beach club and they meet, and y'all, I was literally like, poor little ting. I was like, Albie's so green. He don't know she a sex worker. But I can't say nothing because I don't know how Cam peeped that she was a sex worker. I wouldn't have peeped that. I thought she was just a pretty girl in a hotel, dressed nice. Like, I wouldn't have said, oh, baby is a sex worker. I don't know how Cam called that. Maybe I'm just as green as Albie, child, because I wouldn't have called it. But anyway, Albie just thought she was just a regular girl. So Portia ends up at the dinner with the gays and Nips. They're leaving, but Nips is like, no, you're not gonna go to bed. So they're at the bar. Now at this time, Albie is on the other end of the bar with Lucia because he done been kicked to the curb by Mia. So now he off with somebody else. Which, hey, you got the right to be. Y'all ain't together. She done kicked you to the curb. Now you found a new girl. Go ahead, have fun. But Lucia ends up seeing, you know, whatever's going on with them two, and Nips and Portia kiss at the bar. So Lucia ends up kissing Albie like, okay, well, we gonna make sure you win. Now Portia and Nips end up going upstairs to her hotel room. They hook up, yada yada yada, and the next day Tanya tells Portia that they are going off to another little island, another little area to go to stay with the posh gays. And Albie comes over to talk to Portia just as she's leaving her hotel with her bags packed. And she pretty much hit Albie with the "have a nice life." I was like, okay. But really, I was like, Albie, it's for the best. Because remember, at this point in the story, I'm still on the Albie is the nice guy train. And I was just like, Albie, she don't deserve you, babes. Go find somebody else because this ain't it. I mean, it ain't going to be Lucia. Lucia. I think she was saying Lucia. I keep saying Lucia. But I think it was Lucia. But anyway, so she ends up kicking him to the curb. Now, let's get into Lucia and Mia. First of all, Lucia was the most stylish out of everybody this season. Lucia, baby, y'all, how you say her name? I'm too country for this. Lucia, I'm just going to say it how I naturally say it. Lucia was the most stylish out of everyone this season, last season, seasons, future and past. Baby was dressing down. You hear me? Look. Lucia got her little game going on for how she can make money. The dad, Bert, ends up talking about how in Sicily. I was finna call it Sicilian. No, Sicilian. I was finna call it Sicilian, but no, you call the people Sicilian. The place is Sicily. Oh God. Okay, forgive me. So the granddad Bert talks about how in Sicily there's a high unemployment rate. So baby is doing what she got to do. Okay, when I tell you Lucia is my MVP, I am so team Lucia and Mia. Now Lucia ends up booking this rich guy because Dom is rich, who she has booked her for the whole week. So he ends up putting them on his hotel room and his dad's, give them the key cards. He tells them, you know, they can charge stuff to his room, charge some food, charge some vino, you know, don't go crazy, but you can have a little fun. When I tell y'all, baby, Dom is rich because Lucia and Mia go shopping for a whole new wardrobe and charge that inch to his room, and he never said nothing. That means that money they charged was like a blip on the radar for him. And they was, baby, I know they spent the grip. I know they spent the grip. Because when they walked up out of there after that little shopping spree, Lucia was dressing down. You hear me? They spent a grip. They spent a grip. They spent a grip. Lucia had her a good look. Am I going to call it a game? Am I going to say she had a good little game going? But look, Look, baby made sure she was taken care of. I'm just put it like that. Because they went in there and had a whole damn shopping spree. Now, what I thought was a good little hint about Lucia and Mia was Bert was, I don't want to say obsessed, but he was obsessed with the movie The Godfather. He talks about it with Portia and his grandson and son when they go into the town, and he's watching The Godfather on TV, and one of the characters says Sicilian women are more dangerous than a shotgun or something like that. I can't remember verbatim, but pretty much Sicilian women are as dangerous as a shotgun or more dangerous. And I found that so interesting that our Sicilian women characters that we have, first of all, Mia wants to be a singer, and she decides to hook up with the piano player, the musician for the hotel, so that he can introduce her to some friends. And see, I don't like exchanges like this, because I don't want to pay before I get my reward. Because how I know that we gonna, and y'all, why they hooked up in the church? Oh Lord Jesus, y'all they hooked up in the church. But anyway, how do I know that when I yada yada, you gonna hook me up with these friends? I don't know. I don't like how that gotta go down. I want my payment up front. But anyway, now they go into the church, child. I guess because you know it's private. He said don't nobody go in here. But man, it was so insane, and he can't perform. So Mia is like, he said we'll do this another time. Mia want to get this ish over with. She said, no, baby, we doing this now. Wait a minute, stay right here. I got something for you. And she goes to find Lucia, who has a purse full of like a damn pharmacy. She got Molly in there. She got a Viagra in there. So at this time, Lucia is hanging with Albie. They're in the water. And I thought this scene was crazy. Mia come running on the beach. And she's yelling, trying to ask Lucia which pill is the Viagra, because she don't know. And baby, I wouldn't know either. Like, who? I don't, just looking at some pills, I get it. Lucia don't know what pill is what, child. But look, Lucia could not hear Mia. Mia just gives up and runs off. But I feel like, Mia, baby, just run closer to the water. Why didn't you just go closer and freaking ask her? But she didn't. And she ends up just picking a pill and gives it to the piano player guy. Y'all, baby, she did not give him Viagra. She gave him the Molly, I guess. But we don't even know if it was, I don't know how many pills baby had in there. So she had Molly in there, she had Viagra, ain't no telling what else she had in there. But whatever she gave, oh boy, it was not the Viagra. And baby, he collapses and almost dies. And he ends up having to be rushed to the hospital. Now, this is where I'm going to talk about the hotel manager. And what was her name? What was the hotel manager's name? Hold on, let me look this up real quick. Okay, give me the staff. Not the staff. Give me the cast. I don't know why I didn't put her name in my notes. Valentina. Okay, so let's insert Valentina right here. Now, the lady who runs the hotel is Valentina. And when y'all tell y'all, she was annoying me. And she was annoying me because of her interactions with one of her co-workers. Now, she has a crush on a woman that works there. And the way Valentina kept butting in and being possessive over her, it's like she didn't want no male co-workers to talk to the girl. And she tells her, you can tell me if the guy is, you know, being inappropriate or, you know, hitting on you. And I'm sitting like, the only person that's being inappropriate is you. Like, she was so... it was too much. It was way too much. I was like, it ain't the men, girl. It's you, Valentina. Leave her alone. Like, she was just so possessive. Anytime she would even see the girl laugh with a co-worker, I was like, Valentina, you gotta get it together. Get it under control, baby. Play it cool. But she has a crush on one of the women that works at the hotel. And she ends up moving the guy that works near her at the front desk because they keep flirting. And really, she says she's moving her so that the girl can feel comfortable. The girl don't feel uncomfortable. Really, it's you, Valentina. She moves him out to the beach club, what he's upset about. She moves in another guy who's not as attractive, and I guess she thinks, oh, this, you know, will work out a lot better, won't be no flirting. But this time, old girl complains to Valentina that the guy won't stop hitting on her. So Valentina ends up moving him again, and she ends up inviting the girl out to celebrate her birthday. Now, the girl, thinking this is just friendly, and she agrees to go. And as she's getting ready, like, okay, we can leave to go celebrate your birthday, she says, can you move old boy back to the front desk? That is actually my fiance. And it's a blow to Valentina because she liked the girl. And suddenly she's like, oh, you know, forget going out for dinner. Now, since the piano player has been in the hospital and we don't have a musician, Mia has been trying to get Valentina to let her play. And I love the moment when the piano player lets Mia play and we find that baby got talent. She was, oh, I was so happy for her. I was like, yeah, she is amazing. She should be doing more than just singing at the piano. But she happy to have that job at a hotel. I'm not knocking it, but I'm just like, baby is very talented. Now, Mia keeps trying to get Valentina to let her... And I'm laughing because I'm thinking about how Valentina was treating them, child. But she tries to get Valentina to let her take up for the place of the piano player while he's not there. And she ends up seeing Valentina at the bar while she is heartbroken because the love of her life that she has a crush on is not gay and is engaged. Now, what I thought was interesting was Mia tries to accost the piano player with yada yada in exchange for something. She peeps that Valentina likes girls and tries to do the same thing. And when I was watching the scene, I'm sorry, but I was like, women are not as sleazy as men. That is not how you finna get the piano player job with Valentina. I don't care if she is gay. Like, women aren't as sleazy as men. They're not. You cannot exchange damn sexual favor for the piano player job the way you could with the piano player. And no, it didn't work. But she just keeps asking Valentina, and Valentina finally says, you know what, you're persistent. You can have the job for the few days that he's not there. But then when it's her birthday and Mia sees her, Mia kind of clocks, you know, that she likes women. And she finds out that Valentina has actually never been with a woman, and her and Mia end up getting together. And I'm just like, see, like, child, Mia getting around, because we thought initially that Mia was just mild meat friend along for the ride. But baby, she had a threesome with Lucia and Dom. She was going to hook up with what was the married guy, with Ethan. And I don't know, did Lucia and Mia and Cameron have a threesome? Because they all woke up in the bed together. But that don't mean they all had a threesome. It just means we just slept in the bed because we know they ain't got nowhere else to sleep. But did they have a threesome, y'all? Did Lucia, Mia, and Cameron have a threesome? She hooked up with the piano player, and then she hooked up with Valentina. I was like, go ahead, girl. Go ahead, girl. But she ends up actually being so good with the piano, like the guests preferred her. And when old boy comes back from the hospital, he is fired. And the way Valentina handled it, she was just like, nigga, get the fuck out. Like, it was not delicate. She was like, and that's why I'm like, the line of Sicilian women are as dangerous as a shotgun. I'm just like, yep, the Sicilian women they had in here was, baby, they was some savages. So, baby, Mia ends up getting the job at the hotel, and I was so happy for her. Oh my God. Oh. Now, Lucia got with Albie. My mind was blanking, y'all, sorry. And as they was like flirting and finna, yada yada, out my head I was like, now hold on, Lucia, is you finna give him a freebie? He don't know you, he don't know, girl. And I'm just wondering, where is this gonna go? And then I was like, does she like him? Oh, no, baby is here for business. So she hits Albie the next morning about the payment, and I'm just like, poor Albie. He really thought she liked him. He didn't know. No, baby, this is her profession. So Lucia ends up like, oh, you didn't know, it's fine. And she ends up telling Mia, this kid, he's sweet, his dad rich, baby, Lucia figured out how to play this. So Lucia ain't got no kind of pimp or nothing like that. Baby is on her own terms, doing her own thing. But she plays it with Albie as if she's a damsel in distress, right? And we know what we're dealing with Albie and these damsels in distress. So that's how Lucia plays the game. And she plays it as if she has this guy that's over her, accosting her for money. She tells him there was a certain client that didn't pay and the guy want her to give him the money. And Dom, Bert, Albie are going to try and find their relatives, and they bring Lucia along to translate against, Dom. Dom don't want his son with her. And I was with Bert. Bert was like, man, play it cool. You giving yourself away. So she ends up having it where the guy kind of chased them down in the car. She has to leave with him. I feel like I said that weird. She has to leave with him. And she's like doing this whole scene for Albie. And she ends up, Albie's like, I want to help you. Because she says she needs X amount of money. I want to say it was 50,000. 50,000. What is it called over there? It's not 50,000. Is it 50,000 pounds or 50,000 euros? No, it wasn't 50,000. It was 50. Y'all, what was it? Y'all, it was a lot of money. I got 50 in my notes, but I want to say it was euros or pounds. It was a lot of money. Okay. Now, when we hear Albie's mom on the phone with his dad, she sounded very unhinged. Y'all, that phone call. Look, Albie goes to his dad for the money for Lucia. And the dad is like, no, I'm not giving you that kind of money. She playing you. Albie sells his soul. He sells his soul. He tells his dad, because the dad has been wanting Albie to put in a word with the mom and help him with the mom. Albie has been against it. But Albie sells his soul. And he says, if you give me the money for Lucia, I will help you with mom. Y'all, the mom on that phone call was unhinged. Like, I can't think of another word. She was unhinged. This man had been cheating on her. Serial cheating. She was unhinged. She was on that phone with Dom, going crazy. She dropped the F-bomb 1,100,000 times. She was crying. She was hyperventilating. And you finna put her back with a hit. Y'all. Lucia, for me, was just doing what she had to do. And I feel like I don't take it as Albie was being an idiot. I don't. For me, if somebody deceives you, that's on them. That's a reflection of them and their deceitful nature. That's not a reflection on you and your kindness or trusting nature. It's nothing wrong with that. For me, I don't see nothing wrong in this scenario when it comes to Lucia or when it comes to Albie trying to help her, because his dad is motherfreaking rich. He told, like he said to the dad, this money won't mean nothing to you, but she could use it. So for me, if you have the means to help somebody, then help them. Like, it don't matter. Like, nothing else matters. It does not mean anything to Dom and his pockets to give her this money, but that money means a lot to Lucia and Mia and their life. Now, Albie, for me, what was wrong in the scenario? It was not the giving her the money. I would have gave baby the money too. Like, if I got it like Dom, who cares? Like, it means nothing to you. So what does it hurt to give somebody money? Like, I have had an experience where somebody asked me for money and I gave it to them, and then I found out for somebody else that they lied about the help they needed and was actually just gaming me. Honestly, I don't care. They needed help. I was in a position to help. What you do with my help is your business. That's not on me and my conscience. I had it to give, so I gave. So for me, when it comes to Albie, I don't think that was stupid. I don't think anything negative concerning that. The thing that I didn't like, the thing that was disgusting, was selling his mom down the river. Now That was the way his mom was on that mother freaking phone call, and that is the only glimpse of the mom that we get. But just from that phone call, nah, baby, you should have found another way to get that money up out your daddy. Or get the money, give it to old girl, and be like, and then go back on. I don't know. No, you shouldn't do that, because no, that's wrong too. Damn it, I don't know how to get out of that one. But he should have found another way. I did not like that, because y'all, Dom gonna continue cheating. I would pretty much put money on it. He gonna continue cheating. Now, my questioning is Albie actually a nice guy, or is he playing the role of a nice guy? I feel like Albie is playing the role of a nice guy in rebellion when it comes to his dad. Because Albie has such contempt for his dad, and he tells, it's a few little caution signs when Albie talks to Portia. He tells her he's attracted to wounded birds. And I feel like Bert and Dom sees women a certain way. And it's kind of in line with how Albie sees women. They just use women in different ways. Albie sees women as projects. He tells Portia, because of his dad, he refuses to have a bad relationship with women. Now, this statement is messed up. For one, women are not just one big entity. Like, they're not just one big organism. To say I refuse to have a bad relationship with women, and for it to be you don't want to have a bad relationship with women in response to your dad. Come on now, child. Come on now, child. All three generations of men are damaged, and they have damaged relationships with women. Albie has damaged relationships with women, same as dad and granddad. It's just in a different form. And I feel like he's the peacemaker of his family. He plays this nice guy role. He makes decisions. He does things that he feels is supposed to be the appropriate response. Him asking Portia, can I kiss you? I feel like he does things because he wants to be the opposite of his dad. He doesn't want to do the inappropriate stuff. He is one of those guys that wants to, I'm going to do the right things because this is what I feel like I'm supposed to do. I feel like at the end, when Lucia gets the money from Albie, which baby was doing what she had to do, I don't see nothing. I'm team Lucia. Now, when she gets the money and she leaves him the next morning and she looks back, I did not take that scene as her looking back at Albie because she liked him, or she think about the life she could have if she go to California and be with Albie. No. I saw it as baby looking back like gratitude, like grateful, like, man, he really gave me this money and this is really finna help my life. Like, I just looked at it as a gratitude look, not a I really like this guy look, because Lucia played the role she needed to play for the type of girl she needed to be for Albie. She was never her real self, so there was no genuine like and connection in that relationship with Albie, because he liked her for the role she played, the woman she appeared to be with him, not for the real her that she was. Lucia and Portia represent the type of women that Albie's damaged psyche is attracted to, because he likes projects. He does not want to be the bad guy in a scenario. He needs to be the, I don't want to say savior, but he needs to be the good guy in the scenario. He needs to come in and rescue women. His dad comes in and damages women, so Albie needs to come in and rescue women. Now, let's get back over to Tanya and Portia. Now, Portia told Albie, she chucked the deuces and she said, have a nice life. And they go off with the posh gays, and they end up, the gays take Tanya to an opera, and Nips takes Portia off on the town, and Tanya is at the opera, child. And it's a woman sitting in the balcony next to them, and she's like, is that the queen? I guess was the queen of Sicily. And he's like, yes. Baby, she don't pss, pss, pss. I'm like, Tanya, you don't pss, pss. The queen, baby, you don't do that to the queen. Tanya was just so freaking ridiculous. So Tanya has this grand night with them, right? Now, Nips and Portia get back to, is it called the villa? It was a word. I think it's somewhere later in my notes when I talk about something else. But they go back to the house, and Nips tells Portia, I gotta go do something for my uncle. I'll be right back. Now, baby, I'ma say, I did not suspect this. I didn't. Because this was a straight guy hanging with a bunch of gay men. And yes, straight men can have gay friends. But this was a young guy, and he was around nothing, because when he would talk to Portia, he would say, oh, it's nothing but old hag. Y'all, what is a hag? He was nothing but old hags and gay men. And I'm just like, yeah, that gotta be family. Like, this gotta be his uncle, because why would this young guy be hanging with old hags? I don't know what a hag, y'all, I hope that ain't a slur. I don't know what an old hag is. I really don't. Like, I can kind of deduce, like he's putting Tanya in the category of, is Tanya old hag? Y'all, I don't know. What is an old hag? But anyway, so they get back to the house. We see Tanya in bed, and she suddenly hears noises. And this is when the light bulb clicked for me, because you can tell what the noises are. And I'm just like, Tanya go investigating. And I'm like, Tanya, baby, if you hear men moaning and groaning, it ain't nothing to investigate. Like, what are you doing? But anyway, I guess we gotta investigate, because we gotta see who moaning and groaning. So, baby, Tanya follows the moaning and groaning, and she opens the door, and we see Nips and his uncle, yada yada, yada yada, yada yada, yada yada. And I was like, well, when we heard the moaning and groaning, that's when the light bulb clicked for me, and I was like, damn it, that ain't his uncle. That ain't baby uncle. I didn't call it. I didn't see that coming. Nope. I did not. But baby, Tanya stood there for a good amount of time, and it was like a mirror next to her. I thought they was yada yada and about to look at the mirror and see Tanya, because I was like, Tanya, baby, you need to get out of there. She stood there for a good amount of time, and I get it. Baby was maybe stunned or shocked, because at first it's like, is he his uncle, or is this not his uncle? So maybe she was sitting there trying to partner that. Now, Nips is not the posh lead gay's nephew. And I feel like if I'm Tanya, I would have got to go out of there. Because, like, what are y'all... What game are y'all playing? Because why do you need to lie to me that this is your nephew? And look, I'm black, so we do the whole calling somebody your uncle or calling somebody your cousin, and they not really blood related to you. But that's a different scenario, because when you do that, that means you done known this person for a long time and they like family. Like when you got a friend you done known for like 20 years and you be like, yeah, that's my cousin. Or it's a family friend you done known since you was a child and you call him your uncle. But we ain't yada yada with those people. So if I meet somebody and they say, oh, this is my nephew, but I find out y'all I'm gonna be like, I need to get away from this, because y'all on some sick shit. Like, I don't know what y'all on, but I don't want to be a part of it. Now, the next morning, Tanya has a conversation with Portia, and I really love this conversation. Now, Portia is child, she all with Nips, and Tanya is trying to tell her, like, I know you like him, but something is up. I don't think that's his uncle. Baby, why Portia say, yes, that is? Portia, you don't know. Y'all, that hurt me so bad. When Tanya says, I don't think that's his uncle, and Portia's response is, yes, it is. That's his uncle. Why would you say that? You don't know these niggas. For Portia's response to Tanya, I don't think that's his uncle, to be, yes, it is. That, oh. How are you saying this like it's law, like it's Bible, like a burning bush told you so? You only know this is uncle because he said it's his uncle. Like, you only know what he's... If she says, I don't think it's his uncle, my response would be, well, why do you think that? Not, yes it is. oh God, Portia was such a dog. She just got on my nerve. And Tanya ends up telling her that she sees a lot of herself in Portia. Yeah, the two peas in a pod. And she tries to give Portia some freaking something to go into her freaking thick skull. But Portia gonna Portia. Because Tanya gonna Tanya. And they two peas in a pod. And of course she just keep being a big dope. And she goes off with Nips. It's supposed to be a party planned that night, but her and Nips go out into the city. They're supposed to be back for the party, and again, Portia, just complaining and this woe is me. She has a conversation with Nips. She has a conversation with Jack, and she asked him, does he have any goals? And I'm saying, like, this is why when she was dealing with Albie, I was like, girl, that's who you need to deal with. Because men like Nips ain't finna sit here for all the whining and crying. And men like Nips ain't finna be sitting here talking about their goals. Now, he ends up flipping the question because, but he asked her, like, well, what are your goals? And she said she would like to be satisfied one day. And when I tell you, I had to be on board with everything Nip said to her. When he was like, well, what's so wrong with the world? And she's just like, are you kidding me? Like, this is what irks me. Baby, ain't nothing wrong with your world, Portia. Portia, you got a nice world. You got a privileged world. You are A-okay just fine. And I agree when Nips was like, would you rather be at any other time? Like, if you are not satisfied right here, right now, you'll never be satisfied. And I was very on board with him when he said that to Portia. Very 100% on board. Portia was so, like I said in my last video, Portia for me was like the opposite of Daphne and her philosophy. Daphne was more on the lines of, I'm not going to be a victim of my circumstances. I'm not going to be a victim in life. I'm going to take certain control that I can over the things I can't control. But Portia was the opposite. Portia was just a woe is me, victim of life. Y'all, Portia got on my last nerves. And Portia with this whole, I want to have an adventure. I want to have an adventure. It was really freaking irking me. When she goes into town with Nips and they freaking dine and dash and she's just laughing. So, baby, this the kind of adventure you was talking about? This the adventure? That kind of irked me with that. If you want to have an adventure, then you go. Like, and that's what I mean by her just being a victim of life. You can't sit around moping and complaining saying, I want to have an adventure. But you're not doing nothing. You're sitting around moping and complaining. If you want to have an adventure, then go do something. Be proactive in your life. And that was not Portia. And it bugged me. I'm just like, girl, you... Y'all, Portia had no real problems. She had no real problems. But she was all, she got on my nerve. But anyway, now she ends up talking about we got to get back for the party. And Nips is just like, it's just going to be a bunch of gays and old hags. And he's just drinking, getting intoxicated, and starting to be turning up the obnoxiousness that I already saw. But he turning it way up. So now it's, getting to Portia. And he ends up getting drunk and being like, we gonna just get a hotel. And he ends up getting inebriated and kind of starting to spill his guts, right? One thing Tanya said to Portia was, it's so nice to meet people with money because then you know they don't want yours. Because the posh gay guy has his own boat and his own little villa, whatever it's called. And Nips ends up letting it slip to Portia that baby ain't really got no money. He was gonna have to sell his family home, but he's about to come into money. And Portia's just like, well, what are you talking about? And what do you mean? And you mean your family, right? Because that's your uncle. And when I tell you, I want to let Nips fall asleep. I'm finna be, you need to keep talking. Wake up, give me more info. But the fact that Portia really just came in this hotel with this man, stayed the night, slept next to him after everything that has transpired, everything that he has said. Y'all, I couldn't. Like, I'd have been out of there. Like, this, oh, Lord Jesus. But anyway, the next morning, Portia can't find her cell phone. And it's pretty evident that Nips took it, because Portia wasn't a drunk one. She know good and doggone well she had her phone. But anyways, fast forward, they're out in the town sitting around having food or whatever, and Portia keeps talking about her phone, and he's just like, I'm sure you'll find it, whatever. But he makes a crude line that I'm just like, Lord Jesus, Portia, this the guy you chose over Albie. This who you wanted, girl. Is this the adventure? You got your adventure, didn't you? I hope this adventure is enough for you. But he walks off, and he left his phone on the table. So Portia, I'm gonna give her kudos for actually having a number memorized. She calls Tanya, who is on the boat with the posh gays, about to get back to the island where the hotel is. And both of these people is dope, because Tanya ain't worried about her sister being missing, and since like in a sense of, is her assistant in danger? Is she okay? She ain't heard from the assistant missing. No, Tanya upset the assistant missing because she ain't here to assist Tanya. Like, I'm just saying, like, girl, baby is gone overnight. You ain't seen her. They had this party and you over here doing coke. And y'all, that threw me. That threw me when they was at the party and they just pulled out just doing like, now hold on now. And maybe I'm as naive as Albie. But I'm gonna say, in real life, I don't be thinking people be doing lines. Like, I thought that was like celebrities. Like, yes, of course, in real life people do drugs. But I mean, I would think real life people, like just regular folk, like smoke some weed or pop some pills or stuff like that. Baby, smoke crack. I did not know that just regular folk be like sniffing lines. Because the way they did it in this party, it was just like it was so regular. Like, here you go. She's just like, oh, I haven't done that in years. It's like riding a bike. And I'm just like, this just regular? Like niggas are just sniffing lines? I thought that was so insane. Like, Cam them popping them all. Okay, whatever. Like, I think, regular people, they do drugs. I'm not saying I don't think regular people do drugs. But sniffing lines, I thought that was like celebrity-ish. Like, I did not know regular folks is like holding one nostril and sniffing stuff. Look, I partied a lot when I was a teenager and young adult. Like, a lot. I went to a lot of parties. Babe, I ain't never seen nobody doing lines. Like, I ain't never seen that. I ain't never seen that in real life. I don't know how y'all is even getting access to this stuff. I really don't. But anyway. What was I at? I done went off on something else, child. But anyway, what was I talking about? Tanya on the boat. Not worried about her assistant, child. She was worried about the assistant ain't here to assist her. We on our way back to the island. And Tanya ends up getting a phone call from Portia. She goes over to take the phone call. And y'all, this scene of these two dodo birds putting the pieces together. Because Portia is telling Tanya something is going on. I know Nips took my phone. Jack took my phone. And now Tanya is like, oh wait, last night in the posh gay's bedroom, I saw this picture. Y'all, when Tanya saw this picture in old boy bedroom and thought it looked just like Greg, and was like, but he has hair. I'm just like, girl, baby, she's such a dodo bird. She's such a dodo bird. Oh God, y'all, it was just, she just went on ahead hanging with the posh gays after seeing that picture. I'm just like, baby, come on now, child. That should have been a dead giveaway. And what kind of dumbass criminals? What kind of dumbass conspiracy plot is y'all got going on where you don't hide the picture of the person you conspired with? Come on now, child. Come, y'all. But anyway, these two dodo birds is piecing stuff together. And honestly, still at this point, I do not think it's a murder plot. Like I said, I thought it was a adultery, catch her doing that plot. But Tanya, they're piecing it together, and Tanya says, the prenup. And that's when I'm like, yes, girl, he done caught you cheating, so now he can get money. But no, y'all, I was still wrong. And she's like, if we divorce, he gets nothing. But, and Portia's like, was it Portia or Tanya who said, but if you die? Oh, no. It was Tanya. Like, if I die. And that's when I was like, wait, what the? Wait a minute. So the nigga trying to kill her? Y'all, I did not see that. I didn't. Woo, over my head. I thought it was plot. Because I'm like, why would they hook her up to have sex with somebody? Like, what does that have to do with murdering her? So I just thought it was a plot to catch baby cheating. But no, the two dodo birds pieced it together, and it was a murder plot. Now, Tanya gets off the phone, and she goes back with the gays, and you can tell her whole demeanor is different. And I'm sorry, like me, Antoinette Nicole, me, babe, I would've sat down and we sitting there just having a casual conversation. I'd have had to be like, are y'all gonna kill me? Like, are y'all trying to kill? Like, I would've had to say it. I would've had to say it, but I guess I would've got myself killed because she was able to catch them off guard, even though, you know, she. Okay, my battery just died. I don't know where I left off at, y'all, but I think I was after Tanya and Portia they put everything together on their phone call, and then now we're after that. I think that's where I left off at, but I can't remember exactly what I was saying. Now, Portia is on the phone with Tanya. They're piecing everything together, and then Nips runs over, snatches the phone from her. And I'm just like, I would not still be with this guy. First of all, if someone is just using my phone, I wouldn't come over and snatch the phone from them. Like, it's obvious he was trying to keep you from contacting Tanya. Now, they end up saying that Portia ends up telling Nip she wants to get back to the hotel and everything, and he's just all just like, oh, I thought, you know, I thought we'd drive, I thought we'd see the city. Baby, I'm trying to go. Like, I'm trying to go. I don't want to be here with you. But anyway, they end up being in the car together, supposed to be driving back, and Portia's just like, can you just tell me what's going on? Am I kidnapped? And Nips is still just playing along, right? So Portia starts talking about, like, that ain't your uncle, is it? And all this stuff. And she ends up saying, so your uncle? I couldn't. But Nips just keeps going into, look, can you just let me do my job? Do you want me to get in trouble? And it tripped me out how they was trying to do this reverse thing on Tanya and Portia, with Nip saying to Portia, do you want me to get in trouble? Nigga, I don't care about you getting in trouble. And then when they're on the boat and Tanya's trying to get out of there, and she's like, I'm ready to just get back to the hotel. And the Posh gay is like, are you bored of us already? Like, how they was doing that to them. Like, yeah, I'm bored. Yeah, I want to get out of here. Like, I don't care about you getting in trouble. I don't care about it. Am I bored? I want to get out of here. Like, you see how people do that? You see, oh, you're bored of us already. Do you want me to get in trouble? Baby, I don't care. I want to get out of here. Now, this was so freaking ridiculous. Tanya is on the boat, and she gets up from the table with the gays. I forgot to say, her little boo thing she hooked up with, she's told that he's coming to the boat and he's going to take her to the island. And the night before when they were partying, she saw a gun in his bag. Which that would ought to be like, what the fuck is you at the party for the gun? Like, I don't know, but Tanya was just not, I don't know. But anyway, yo, she on the boat with him at the table. She gets up from the table and she walks along like the side of the boat and she runs. And I'm like, girl, they could see you. This was so ridiculous. And then she comes back around and she runs and then she just stops. And she's like, oh, this is a big boat. And I'm like, girl, they could see what you're doing. And she goes up to the guy driving the boat who doesn't speak English, and she's trying to like talk about the gays, and he's like, I'm gay. And I'm just like, Lord Jesus. But I was really like, Tanya, just jump in the motherfucking water. If you could swim, baby, because we could see the island, we could see the hotel, right? He tells her that the boat is too big, they can't get close, whatever. Baby, I would jump in the water. I would've. Well, not me, because I can't swim, but if I'm Tanya and I can swim, baby, I'm jumping in the water. Like, I am. That's literally what I was thinking when I was watching this scene. Now, her little boo thing comes, they have dinner, whatever, and they're like, it's time for him to, you know, take you back. And she's like, well, what about the other two gays? They get to the hotel. Because it's kind of obvious that the guy she hooked up with is going to kill her. We saw he had a gun, and he's the one finna take her back to the island. So she's like, well, I got to go use the powder room. And baby is trying to make one last ditch effort to survive. And she goes into a bedroom where she saw, when she ran past, I don't know the guy's name. The guy she hooked up with had his bag, and she grabs the bag and she says she gotta go to the powder room, and she locks the door to the room, and she looks at his bag. When I tell you, baby got all the essentials for a Sicilian vacation: rope, duct tape. I'm just like, Yeah, baby, they was finna kill you. And Tanya gets the gun. And when I tell y'all, they come to the door and they're like, this ain't the bathroom. What is you doing in there? And she's just like, in a minute. I'll be in a minute. Y'all, I would have been saying no in a minute. Y'all niggas is trying to kill me. Well, y'all, when I tell you, they kicked the door open. Y'all, Tanya was in this mug shooting like she John Wick. Y'all, first of all, every time in this season that Jennifer Coolidge was crying, it was so hilarious why she would be crying. But when she got the gun, and she like the way she was just, and I love how they shot this. The way they filmed it, where the whole time she's walking out and shooting, all we see, our POV, is looking at Tanya. Like, we just see Tanya with the gun, shooting off, and crying, y'all. I loved how they did that. It was so freaking good. And then that's when they give us a shot of them, like, laying dead or whatever. But we don't get a shot of them, like, coming at her or running away from her. We just get the POV of looking at Jennifer Coolidge, holding that motherfucking gun, and crying. And it was so amazing. Now, Tanya ends up taking everybody out except one gay who jumps off the boat. Now, see, I was telling Tanya to jump off the boat earlier when it was daytime. I'm not jumping off the boat when it's pitch black. But anyway, everybody down for the count. And she goes over to the Portia gay. And the question that she has, after she has just had to kill niggas, after she just had to take niggas out like she Rambo, Tanya asks him, is Greg cheating on me? Girl, do we care about that? So if he ain't cheating but was trying to murder you, is that gonna make you feel better? Y'all, that was crazy. That was crazy. So anyway, she walks out to like the outside of the boat, and the captain who drives the boat is up there, and she's trying to get off the boat. Y'all, I had hope. I thought baby had done made it. Y'all, why the hell was Tanya trying to climb over the boat? First of all, in high heels. Why is you trying to climb over the boat in high heels? But y'all, Tanya was trying to climb off the boat in her high heels so she can get down to the little small boat that her little boo thing came up in. Y'all, this was the dumbest ish I've ever seen. First of all, let's say I am gonna jump off the boat to get to the smaller boat. Why wouldn't I not jump in the water, like next to the boat but away from the boat? Like, I don't know, it just ain't. Oh god, y'all, this was the Tanya tries to jump off the boat. I don't know how she thought she was going to jump off the high boat and like jump into the smaller boat and not get, like, I don't know what she was thinking. But she tries to jump off the boat, but she slips and falls and boops her head and falls into the water and dies. Y'all, you might as well have let them kill you and let them get their money from your husband. This was such a fitting end for Tanya though, because she went out like a boss bitch. She took all them niggas out. But then she comes to her demise of her own hand. The stupidity and the symbolism of how you're your own downfall. Like, she didn't need them to take her out. She did that of her own stupidity. Y'all, grand opening, grand closing. Now, Portia's in the car with Nips, and I guess he has like a conscience, because I feel like his job was to take out Portia, because Greg was like, y'all, we gotta change the plan. She brought her assistant, we gotta take the little girl out too. And Greg, you evil, baby, you evil, gonna take out this poor young girl for nothing. But I think, that's what I think, I don't know, am I wrong? Was he supposed to just take her to the airport? I thought he was supposed to kill her, but y'all let me know. But anyway, he stops the car in the middle of nowhere and don't say nothing to Portia, just gets out of the car and starts smoking a cigarette. And I'm saying, like, baby, Portia finna die. Like, y'all, I was like, Portia finna die. Portia finna die. He ain't talking to her. He just in the middle of nowhere. He just done got out the damn car. He's smoking a cigarette. Portia finna die. So Portia get out of the car and she's just like, what are we doing here? I thought you were taking me back. What's going on? And he's like, look, y'all, I can't even say this line without laughing. Nips tells Portia, look, I know you're smart. Y'all, okay, you know what? I ain't gonna give Portia too much. He says, I know you smart. I know you smarter than me. Look, baby, no, actually, I'm actually, sir. no, but okay, whatever. I ain't gonna give Portia too much. I ain't gonna give her too much, but yeah, that was a questionable line. But anyway, he tells her, don't go back to the hotel. Just get, the airport is right up the block. Go back home. These are some dangerous people. You don't want to cross them. And when I tell you, I'm thinking I'm thinking Portia gonna go to the police. She gonna try and he gives her phone back. I'm thinking she gonna try and call Tanya. She gonna try and make sure the Tanya okay. She gonna try and call the hotel so that they, okay, like maybe you don't call the authorities, but you call the hotel, so they can alert the authorities and you get on the plane. Baby, something so that you can get your boss some help and make sure that her husband don't profit from her death. No, Portia ain't do none of that. Portia ain't do none of that. Yeah. I said Lucia was the most stylish. Yeah, Portia was the worst styled. But y'all, what really took the cake, at the very end, we see Portia, poor little Titi. We see this little dodo bird at the airport trying to be inconspicuous with a hat on, with a scarf on a hat, with big old shades inside the airport in bright colors. Yeah, y'all, really, I'm gonna say Portia ain't learned nothing, and Portia just gonna be a new Tanya. Like Portia, if we was sending the hitman for you, and I'm the hitman, baby, I can spot you. So you is sitting in here like a bullseye. Yeah, who puts a scarf over their head, baby? Who put a scarf over their head? I need to insert a picture of how Portia looked at that airport, because it really, y'all, come on now, baby. Come on now, little Tink. Now, Portia ends up seeing Albie at the airport, and I didn't like this. Portia asked him for his number. No, Portia, baby. No, that ship sailed. You chose Nips. You chose Nips over Albie. Live with your decision. Like, you can hit him with the apology. You can hit him with the, I shouldn't have dissed you for the nipples. But no, baby, no. Now, I am annoyed that Greg gets the profit off of Tanya's death. But what I will hope is that whoever these powerful people is will be mad that they folk got killed and will kill Greg and he won't get no money. That's all I can hope. But I don't want to see none of these characters next season. I don't. Give me a whole new cast. Not everything was top notch. Loved it. But these ain't the folks I'm gonna follow next season. I don't care. Grand opening, grand closing. I enjoyed it. Albie, his family. And you know what? I felt so bad. I forgot to say this. I felt bad when Lucia ditches them. I ended up moving on, but when she ditches them, when they try to find their family and they end up going to their relative's house and getting like ran off the property. First of all, very realistic. Baby, it's some random ass men pull up to my house in a car speaking a language that I don't speak. But it was sad when they were having a meal at the hotel and Bert was like, you always think there's going to be a homecoming. That hurt me. That hit me in my feels. I feel like, and that's why I feel like it's not easy to just sit back and judge folks, because like if these were like just like real life people that you knew and you're like, oh, they're just serial cheaters and they're dirtbags, it's like, no, like they still have a heart, and yes, they do hurtful things and they cause trauma and harm to other people, but they have trauma themselves. And I feel like I felt so bad for Bert. I felt bad for Dom. I feel like they truly do love their wives. Love past tense for Bert because his wife has passed. And now Bert has to live out the rest of his days alone because he says in the episode that he will likely never, you know, be with a woman ever again. It was sad, but yeah, Albie sold his soul, and his mother's going to give his father another chance, and the father will continue to cheat on her. He will. I don't care. Thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting the channel. Let me know your thoughts on this episode down in the comments. Y'all, I love Jennifer Coolidge, but let me know what you thought. Y'all, let me know in the comments, is Albie really a nice guy? Do you think that Albie is a genuine nice guy? I like Albie, but no, he's not. No, it's all a trauma response. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like this video, make sure you share it, make sure you hit subscribe, and if you haven't, go back and watch the part 1 of my review for the White Lotus 2nd season, when I talk about E and Harper, as well as Cameron and Daphne. I'm talking slow, so I'm trying to remember their names, child. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.